our video right here, or we have our project right here. Something that we need to do is I want to change the user interface with you. So if you don't mind, I'm going to try to get it back to reset essentials. There we go. So ignore what I just did. Your Photoshop probably looks something like mine now, where before it might not have. On the right side here, I want to eliminate a lot of this like kind of fluff. There's these two categories called color and properties. The third one on the bottom is really important, called layers. Colors and properties we don't need. So if you follow my arrow over here, where it currently is, it's a little drop down menu. If you click on it, I want you to look for close tab group and then hit that. You'll notice it goes away, and now properties is huge. We also don't need properties, so simply go back up to that same button and then hit close tab group again. Now you have all this room for layers, because I think by the time we're done the project, you're probably going to be somewhere around 10 layers. I'd like to be able to see them all at once. All right, tools. Tools are going to be over here on the left side of the screen. The one that you're looking for is the move tool right here. This is going to be super commonly used. It literally moves things around. However, the settings for the move tool after you choose it by default aren't optimal, in my opinion. So once you have it chosen, you can tell it's chosen because it's darker gray right there. Look at the top where my cursor is kind of hovering over right now. I think by default, auto select is turned on and show transform controls is turned off. I want you to switch that. So uncheck auto select and click show transform controls. Once you have show transform controls selected and the move tool chosen, you'll notice that your image here has a box around it. If you hover over any of the like corner pockets, you'll see that your cursor changes from maybe like your standard mouse cursor to a diagonal arrow. And in this case, you can click and hold and you can make your picture bigger. I recommend filling the page with your picture right now. You will have cropping, like I obviously don't have the whole thing, but again, this is going to be an abstract, part of it. So whatever, right? Get it to kind of where you want, and then hit the return key on your keyboard, and you'll notice that kind of bumps the resolution up a little bit. All right, before we go do any abstract stuff with our photo, I want you to take a look at our layers. We have background and layer 1. That's the one with the photo on it. If you double click the text, layer 1, you'll see that it glows blue or highlights blue. You can edit that now. I want you to call this original. ORIGINAL, I think. I'm terrible at spelling. And then hit return. That's our original photo. We don't want to edit that later because we might need to pull it back. So just leave that there, in my opinion. Now we're going to go into the 3D stuff, the cool stuff. We want to duplicate this layer right here. So that way, if we completely mess up, we have our original. When you have this layer selected, you can tell it's selected because it has a light gray versus like the dark gray background. I want you to click and drag it onto the new layer icon. And you might be saying, well, where is that? Take a look down here in the bottom. You have all these icons. I'm going to tell you right now what they all do. Ready? This one right here, the trash can, deletes a layer. So if you have a layer selected, click it, boom, it's gone. This one right here creates a new layer, the one with the plus sign. It'll make a blank, empty new layer. This here creates kind of like a folder, and you can kind of organize your layers by folder. So if you're a very type A organized person, you can use these. This one here is really cool. These are all for image adjustments, editing colors, brightness values, all that good stuff. This is layer masks. This is incredibly important. We'll be getting into this in other projects, but not for this one. It is a little more advanced, so don't worry about that one right now. And the one that says FX is special effects. So you can click on this and you can see all these different little effects that you can do. These are really good for text-based projects where you have text, in my personal opinion. The last one here, it doesn't work right now because you need to have more than one layer selected, but it will link layers together. I don't know if I've ever personally used that myself. All right, so what was I saying? Click and drag the original layer onto the new layer icon. Go ahead and watch me do that now. I'm going to click, drag, and when I'm hovering over it, I let go, and you'll see that I have original copy. I'm going to do that again to original copy. I'm going to click, drag, and let go on the new layer icon, and now I have original copy 2. I want to rename both of these. So original copy, I'm going to double click on the text. I'm going to call that 3D map/1. And then on original copy 2, double click 3D map/2. So your layers should look just like mine right now. If not, take a second, get those in order. Once you have them in order here, you'll see that there's these eyeball icons next to your layers. If you hit them, layers will disappear. Like, not be deleted, but they'll be hidden. I want you to make sure that you have the background shown, because we want to make sure we see that. Then I only want you to have 3D map 1 eyeballed in and selected. So poke out the eyeballs on these other two and make sure you have this one selected for our next step. All right, here we go. 3D time. In the top menu, you will see that there is one called 3D. Go ahead and click on that. And then you're looking for this one right here, new mesh from layer. And you're going to choose depth map, or not choose it. You kind of hover over new layer, or new mesh from layer, and then hover over depth map 2. Gosh, it's hard to say. And then you're going to choose plane right here. All these settings are really important. Take a second. 3D, new mesh from layer, depth map 2, plane. It's ridiculous. All right. Give it a second, this will pop up, and yes, we do want to enter a 3D workspace now. So this will relatively change what Photoshop does. And here it is. This is your rough 3D version of your photo. It doesn't look much different right now, it just looks distorted, but that's because we're looking dead on. If you click with one finger, leave it held down on the trackpad, and kind of move it around, you'll be able to see your photo really distort itself here into, you know, a whole, there's the back side of the photo. It actually 3Ds the back too. It almost looks like I can kind of see through it, which is pretty neat. So you can kind of tinker around with moving that around to different angles that you like. But before we do that, follow me over here. Where it says layers, I want you to click on 3D. And then where it says scene right here, double tap that. That brings up back to this properties window. We want that open. I'm going to try to do that again here real quick for you guys. Close tab group. So we were on layers right here. Click on 3D right there. And then where it says scene right here, scene. This is like kind of the scene that we're looking at with this 3D map. All right. The reason why I had you do that was presets, custom. To get this more minimalistic, abstract kind of look where it says custom, click the drop-down menu. There's a lot in here. Some of these are cool, but some of them are so expansive that they'll probably freeze the computer. You need like a true gaming computer to really do a couple of these. So MacBooks, I'm gonna stick to this one right here. So choose unlit texture. When you choose that, you'll see that it kind of like takes out a little bit of the roughness of it, and you're really just more looking at an elevation map than you are really anything else, which is pretty neat. So now we have that. All right, moving this around, other than clicking and dragging, if you look at the bottom here, there's these two other options, pan the 3D camera and dolly the 3D camera. If you click and hold on dolly, leave your finger pressed down while you're on the icon and move up or down, it'll zoom it in and out. I like that because I recommend zooming in a good bit. And then ditto with the pan, that just kind of goes left to right. It doesn't rotate it, which is nice. But then if you kind of go back to here, then you can really start to like tinker with the image rotation itself. So find an angle that you think is pretty cool, that you're kind of feeling, and we'll kind of get going from there. I'm going to kind of continue to try to move this in ways and see what I can get. Oh, and Photoshop just crashed.